The world of Outlander fans woke up to a headline that didn't feel real. Sam Heughan under criminal investigation for tax fraud. Possible jail sentence looms. Within hours, the story spread across social media like wildfire. Twitter, Reddit, and entertainment blogs were flooded with disbelief, anger, and confusion. For millions of fans who had followed Sam Heughan's journey for more than a decade, this was unthinkable. How could he, the man who had built a reputation on humility, discipline, and generosity, suddenly be linked to something as dark as financial fraud? At first, no one wanted to believe it, but as the British tabloids began to release exclusive details, panic took over. According to early reports, the controversy stemmed from alleged irregularities in the financial records of the Sassenach Spirits, Sam's globally successful whiskey brand. Unnamed insiders claimed tax authorities had launched a review into potential underreporting of international revenue, and that the matter could escalate to criminal charges. No evidence had been released, no official statement made, yet the headlines painted him guilty before the facts could speak. As the story grew, photographers and reporters began swarming outside Outlander's filming locations in Scotland. The normally serene set became a circus of flashing cameras and whispered speculation. Crew members were instructed not to talk to the press. Fans who had gathered outside hoping to meet Sam were turned away. The atmosphere was tense, uncertain, and emotional. But perhaps no one felt it more deeply than Caitríona Balfe, Sam's co-star and friend of more than a decade. According to multiple sources, Caitríona was seen leaving the set visibly shaken after being questioned by journalists about the situation. One crew member described the moment. She tried to stay calm, but when the cameras got too close, she broke down. She was crying, not just for him, but for what this could do to everything they've built together. The photos of her teary-eyed departure went viral within minutes. Fans flooded social media with messages of heartbreak and concern. If Caitríona's crying, you know this is serious. They're like family. This must be devastating for her. He can't be guilty. Not Sam. For years, Sam and Caitríona had been the emotional core of Outlander, their bond both on and off-screen inspiring millions. Their friendship had survived rumors, scandals, and endless speculation, but this felt different. This wasn't just gossip about love lives. This was a man's career, reputation, and freedom hanging in the balance. Entertainment outlets replayed old interviews where Sam talked about his business ventures. In one, he proudly said, "The Sassenach isn't just a brand, it's a piece of Scotland. I wanted to create something honest, something built to last." Those words now echoed with painful irony in the eyes of tabloids desperate for clicks. Some even suggested that his success had blinded him, that fame and wealth had turned the humble actor into something else. But for those who truly knew him, colleagues, fans, and friends, that narrative didn't fit. "He's the most genuine person you could meet," one close associate told People magazine. "He signs every bottle, visits every charity, and personally approves where the funds go. The idea that he'd cheat or deceive anyone is absurd." Still, public panic grew as words like arrest, charges, and possible jail time began appearing in headlines. No one had confirmed anything, but the damage was already done. For Caitríona, the emotional toll was clear. During a break in filming, she was overheard telling a crew member, "This isn't fair. He doesn't deserve this." Insiders say she has been by his side privately, offering support and reminding people of his long history of charity and honesty. But with every passing hour, the pressure intensified. Reporters began questioning whether this would delay production of Outlander's final season, and some even speculated about its impact on the cast's future projects. The situation reached a fever pitch when a British tabloid claimed that criminal proceedings could be imminent, citing unnamed sources within the tax authority, though no such statement was ever released. Meanwhile, Sam remained silent. No tweets, no Instagram posts, no interviews. Just silence. And that silence became its own story. Fans began to fear the worst. If it wasn't true, wouldn't he say something? one post read. Another countered, "He's probably been told not to speak. The truth will come out, it has to." The tension only grew when a short video surfaced online showing Caitríona leaving the production trailer in tears. The clip, filmed by paparazzi, quickly amassed millions of views. In it, she can be heard saying softly, "He's not that kind of man, he's not." It was raw, heartbreaking, and human. By the end of the day, both their names were trending worldwide. What had started as a rumor was now a global storm. The world wanted answers, and Sam Heughan's silence had become deafening. As one fan tweeted in despair, "Jamie Fraser may be fictional, but Sam Heughan's integrity is real. And I refuse to believe this story until I hear it from him." The world was holding its breath, waiting for the truth, for a statement, for something to make sense of the chaos. Because if the allegations were true, Sam Heughan could lose everything. And if they weren't, he was facing the cruelest betrayal of all, fame itself. For 2 days, silence ruled. Every hour that passed without a statement from Sam Heughan only deepened the tension. Headlines screamed louder, fans grew more desperate, and speculation turned into hysteria. But then, finally, the truth began to surface, and it was nothing like the media had painted. On the third morning after the tax fraud allegations broke, Sam's representatives released an official statement. Calm, professional, and direct, it read. Mr. Heughan is aware of recent media reports concerning an ongoing tax review. We wish to clarify that this is not a criminal investigation. There have been no charges, no findings of wrongdoing, and no discussion of imprisonment. This matter concerns a standard administrative audit related to international business filings and will be resolved shortly. In a single paragraph, the chaos of the last 72 hours collapsed. The terrifying words, fraud, and jail, had never even been part of the official record. The entire scandal had been born from distorted reporting, exaggerated by tabloids hungry for drama. And yet, the damage had already been done. Sam, known for his calm demeanor, broke his silence a few hours later with a short post on Instagram, a photo of the Scottish Highlands at sunrise, captioned, "Sometimes silence isn't weakness, it's patience. The truth always catches up." Within minutes, the post flooded with support. Fans from around the world left messages of love and loyalty. "We never doubted you for a second. The press owes you an apology. Stay strong, our Jamie Fraser." Caitríona Balfe, who had been heartbreakingly quiet throughout the ordeal, finally spoke too. In a touching Twitter post, she wrote, "Sam is one of the most honest, hardworking, and genuine people I've ever known. Watching false stories hurt someone who gives so much to others has been painful beyond words. Please remember there are real people behind the headlines." Those words hit home. Fans shared her message thousands of times, turning the hashtag We Stand With Sam into a global trend. For Caitríona, the last few days had been agonizing. Insiders revealed that she had personally reached out to Sam during the storm, offering comfort and reminding him of how much his fans loved him. She was really emotional, one source said. They've been through so much together over the years. This felt personal. Behind the scenes, friends and colleagues within the Outlander cast were also rallying around him. Sophie Skelton and Richard Rankin both quietly liked Caitríona's post. Producer Meryl Davis reposted Sam's sunrise photo with the caption, "Light always wins." Gradually, the truth replaced the noise. Major outlets that had sensationalized the story began to issue corrections. The BBC clarified that the case was a procedural matter related to corporate filing, not a criminal investigation. People magazine reported that Sam's company had already begun cooperating fully and expected complete resolution within days. It became painfully clear that what had nearly destroyed a man's reputation was nothing more than bureaucratic miscommunication, an accounting error blown out of proportion. But in the chaos, something else had become visible: the fragility of fame. For Sam, the experience was a brutal reminder of how quickly a story can turn, How a life built on integrity can be shaken by a single headline. In a heartfelt moment during a fan Q&A days later, he finally addressed it directly. "I've always tried to live honestly," he said. "But sometimes, being in the public eye means you're not allowed to be human. I'm lucky. I have incredible friends, my team, and fans who remind me who I really am." He smiled softly then, that familiar warmth returning to his eyes. "I won't lie, it was a tough few days. But I've learned that truth doesn't need to scream. It just needs to stand." Caitríona, too, reflected on the ordeal in a later interview. "It showed me how cruel the media can be," she said. "But it also reminded me how powerful love and loyalty are. The fans' support for Sam was overwhelming. It gave him strength." And indeed, the fandom's solidarity became one of the most heartwarming parts of the story. Thousands of fans donated to Sam's charity, My Peak Challenge, in his honor, leaving notes that read, "For truth, loyalty, and light." In the end, what began as a scandal ended as a lesson, not just about misinformation, but about resilience. When asked what he learned from it all, Sam's response was simple yet profound. "Storms pass. People show who they really are. I'm proud of the ones who stood beside me. The world now knows the truth. Sam Heughan was never facing jail, never charged, never fraudulent. What he faced was the shadow side of fame. The cost of being admired by millions but understood by few. And through it all, one person stood quietly in his corner, Caitríona Balfe, the friend who cried when the world doubted him, and who smiled when the truth finally set him free."